Hello everyone, welcome to this video presented by Suresh Kumar from Shivaraju IS Academy, Chennai. Our 365 days of preparation boils down to the 2 hours of examination time. How you read the question, how you approach a question, no matter how much you read well. If you do this process wrong, you have to sacrifice another year. So, we would like to give you a sample of that, how to read a question or how to approach it. And in our previous video, we have told you about the theme areas in environment and science and technology. If you haven't watched it, please go back and watch it. You can see how this area can be fitted to which theme area which I have explained in the previous video. Without much further ado, let's get into this process. So this previous year UPSC question is something related to WPA 1972, Wildlife Protection Act 1972. And most often, let me tell you that, see, what I am saying here is a shortcut. Do not use a shortcut for regular purpose, then it becomes a main road. So remember, shortcuts always is fraught with the dangers. So use it cautiously. What is a shortcut? Particularly with respect to environment, try to approach logically. If you are not very sure about it, try to think logically. It may help to a certain extent. At least it may try to eliminate certain options. First one, wild animals are the sole property of the government. If somebody kills a wild animal, particularly Schedule 1 animal like a deer or a tiger, they not only arrest the person involved, they also confiscate the dead meat. You know that? Because not only the live animals, even the dead part of the animal is the property of the government. And this is a logic that you might have known normally. But that is what UPSC asked it as a question. And actually, according to section 39 for wild animals and section 17H for plants. So, wild animals and plants is specified in the Act are actually properties of the government. Let me add one small point, except Schedule 5 animals. You know what Schedule 5 animals under WPA 1972 stands for? Vermin animals. The nuisance animals, you know. Those animals you can kill and eat it. But for other protected animals, you cannot because government is a sole property owner. So this is a correct statement. And you may not need to know the provisions, all the provisions of WPA 1972. Sometimes use our logical common sense. Second one, when a wild animal is declared protected, such animal is entitled for equal protection whether it is found in protected areas or outside. If you really go and try to see is there any relevant provision for this understanding in WPA 1972, you won't find it. This is once again a logical application of the rule of law. So if we apply that the principle of equality, that an animal protected inside the protected area should enjoy the same status even outside. This is something like this. Okay, you cannot go inside a national park and kill a tiger because it is protected there. But if a tiger comes out, you can kill it. No, that is insane concept, right? So use this logic and common sense. It will help you. But remember, you have to use it provided you have some understanding of WPA 1972. If you simply guess, then it is very dangerous. So this is also correct statement. Yes, an animal has to be protected whether inside or outside. You know, that's what the protection concept itself is. So this is also correct. The third one, the third statement, apprehension of a protected wild animal becoming a danger to human life is sufficient ground for its capture or killing. Apprehension means fear. Oh, an animal is going to cause any harm. No. Section 11 of WPA clearly says, only when an animal has become a danger or it is known to be involved, it is diseased beyond recovery. When it is causing damage to property or human life, or it is diseased beyond recovery, that it cannot be captured. Only then, Chief Wildlife Warden under the WPA 1972 is sanctioned for its capture and if not possible, killing. No, that's how even criminals are handled by police, right? First they try to arrest. If the arrest is not possible, it results in encounter death. It's something similar here also, same logic. So this apprehension, the mere existence of a fear is not a justified cause. There has to be an actual attack should have happened. So this statement is wrong. Once again, see, you should not have read about WPA 1972. Just looking at the meaning that it conveys, you could have easily got it. So first statement is correct. Then obviously you would have already eliminated 50%. Then you have only 1 and 3 and 1 and 2. 3 is wrong. The correct answer is 1 and 2 for this question. Now moving to the next previous year UPSC question. That is another common method used by aspirants, and sometimes I laugh about it because it is usually thought that when the specific words like only comes or all, these kind of qualifier words, only, all, it is usually believed that that statement will be wrong. It is commonly believed so. And for example, some of the turtles are herbivores. Turtles are so wide, diverse animals. Somehow, some turtles has to be herbivorous, right? So they think whenever the word some comes, it usually has to be correct. Remember, I would like to re-emphasize it again here. Whenever only all comes, it is usually thought to be wrong. Whenever this Aristotelian logic, it is called as Aristotelian logic. When you apply that, when the sum comes, it seems to be correct. But remember, you have to use it with pepper. You have to use it sparingly, not always. A good example is this question. UPSC know this and they strike at this guessing strategy used by the students. The first one, Asiatic lion is naturally found in India only. The word naturally is very important because somebody in a zoological park, they may be having zoo and they may be having Asiatic lion. No, that is not the problem. The question is naturally, and that is a correct statement. If you thought, sir, only came, so I thought it's a wrong statement. I'm telling you, you became wrong. So this in fact is a correct statement. Double-humped camel, also called as Bactrian camel, is naturally found in India only. Sometimes, once again, what is this double-humped camel? Maybe you may not immediately recollect. But can you imagine a scenery where the loads are taken by the camel in the Rajasthan deserts? How many hump it is having? Try to recollect your memory, friends. Use logic. Whether it having 2 humps or single hump. If your imagery recollection is good, you might immediately say only 1 hump. Normally, you will find only 1 hump. So that itself will help you to a certain extent. And remember, this Bactrian camel is naturally found only in Central Asia. So this is a wrong statement. Then, sometimes when the word only comes, it may be correct. Sometimes when the word only comes, it may be wrong. So that has to be qualified. So you need to understand the statement. Do not simply jump into conclusion. Because only comes, it is correct. Because only comes, it is wrong. Both are wrong. Analyze the statement. Try to see some logicality in common sense. Then come to the conclusion. So if 2 is wrong, it can be eliminated. B and D option can be eliminated. Then comes to the last one. One-horned rhinoceros is naturally found in India only. See, there are important flagship species for protection. First, Google it. Okay? Google that and find it. And what are the flagship species for conservation? And first-hand information you get, what is its distribution? What protected areas they are found. Like snow leopard is a flagship species for high altitude Himalayas. Like that, go like that. So this one-horned rhinoceros is one of the flagship species and it is found in Indian subcontinent, which means Tarai grasslands of Nepal and India. So when we say only India, that is also wrong. The correct answer is 1 only. So here the correct answer for this question is 1 only. The next question from science and technology, if you see, once again, if you look at the science and technology, you may not need to be a doctorate or a research student. Some questions may come 1 or 2, don't worry about that. But what are the common and general questions, you must never miss it. So this question, if you see, genetic changes can be introduced in the cells that produce egg or sperms of a prospective parent. We are talking whether, if I simplify that, okay, whether germline cells can be genetically edited or not. That's what the question is. Because egg and sperm are called as germline cells. Of course, it can be edited. So, in fact, there is one patient called as Berlin patient. This Berlin patient has a mutation for which he was resistant to HIV. That is something, a miracle that the scientists have found. So, and following that, they extended the treatment to other patients. There was another patient called as London patient. He was also having the same mutation, which in turn gave them resistance to HIV infection. All this what was possible because of what is called as germline gene editing. These are germline cells, and germline cells also can be edited. This is a correct statement. And also I would like to point another key word here. Most often science and technology questions, particularly when it comes to application, there are 2 ways questions are asked. 1, potential scope for the technology. What you can possibly do. The second, what was already successfully done. Here when we say genetic changes can be introduced, we are asking potentially genetic engineering can be used for this purpose or not. We are asking about potential use. But if you say genetic engineering was already successfully done in many patients and used as a treatment, now wrong. So these are the 2 ways question comes. Potential and actual use. Here they are asking about potential. if you ask me a shortcut in this, most often, this potential uses will be including all. Most often. That's a shortcut I would like to give you. But when it comes to actually whether it was done or not, you have to qualify whether it is correct or not. So this is a correct statement. And the second statement, a person's genome can be edited before birth. So they are talking about embryonic gene editing. You might have known about the controversy in China where a researcher, He Junhai, he successfully embryo edited and gave birth to two child who was free from HIV because their mother was HIV infected, but he did the embryo editing and the two embryos were free of this HIV. And in fact, it was such a huge ethical consideration caused in 2019. So it can be done. I already told you, the potential use of an application when it usually comes, most often it will be all. But when it comes to whether it was actually implemented, be careful in reading all the options better. So like that, in that way, third statement, human-induced pluripotent stem cell can be injected into the embryo of a pig. It was also done. So all the three statements are correct for this question. So here, with the limited time that we have, we made an attempt to go into these questions and trying to get what the UPSC is understanding from the aspirants. What they expect is whether the students have a clear reading ability. Second, do they understand what is given clearly? And three, do they recollect with a perfect understanding and answer the question? Do you have all these three? And if you think you have all these three, you are well and good. If you don't, then try test batches. It is in the test batches, keeping all this what was said in mind, that you can cultivate this three essential requirements. Always, since our college and school days, we usually study a day before the examination or 1 week before the examination. That's what we used to. But UPSC is not like that. You would have gone through a year of preparation, but always a crunch revision, a quick revision will always come in handy. And that's what we are aiming at. So we are uniquely offering a crash course for GS Prelims 2023 from March 7 onwards. And this is a 65 hours program, which is comprehensive for both GS paper 1 that will run for 50 hours and GS paper 2 CSAT paper that will run for 15 hours. And out of these 50 hours, 10 hours will be dedicated for environment and ecological aspects, which I have already covered in the previous videos. Please watch the previous videos. And for environment and ecology, we will dedicate 7 hours with a focus on the areas identified and 3 hours for science and technology. So this is a highly focused, a condensed aspect of your revision, and you will immensely benefit out of this. And my best wishes for you all. I hope this 3 video session have helped you a lot in your civil services examination preparation 2023. All the best. Visit us for more videos. Thank you.